Who would have thought that something as simple as a journal could carry so much weight? I know it doesn't look like much, just blank pages waiting to be filled, but it holds something invisible, a story that has already come to an end, and a past that refuses to be forgotten. And somehow, it feels like they left me with a responsibility to fill these pages with something more meaningful, with amazing stories, with the most beautiful people, and the hardest life lessons I can learn. At the beginning of this year, I told myself, I want to see the world. But I'll be doing this in small baby steps. And for this trip, I chose Bologna, Italy. Good morning, everybody. It's currently 9:15 and we are going to Bologna. I do need to finish up packing. I still have a few things to pack in my bag. And I also have to go eat something because my plane is at 1 p.m. and I will be also flying for 2 hours, so I'll be eating again in Bologna. I just arrived at Cluj and I'm going to fuel my car because I need to have it full when I come back from the trip. And then I'll go to my apartment, I'll leave the keys there and then go at the airport by bus. It was my first time solo traveling, and for the first time I had no one to rely on but myself. No friends to help me navigate, no one to fill the silence, just me, my thoughts, and my fear of looking stupid while vlogging in public. Okay, at this point I'm just trying to defeat my social anxiety and talk to a camera on the middle of the street. But other than that, I've been to a basilica, which is some sort of church, and I did take a few videos which look amazing, to be honest. I mean, in my humble opinion, they look good. I'm very curious as to what I'll do in the edit. And right now I'm heading to another basilica, the main one from the central square, Piazza Maggiore, I guess. And I'm just curious to see what can I do there. I genuinely have a question for the Bolognese people. How do you live here? Like, it's so humbling to me how you can turn the corner around and see another castle, another castle, another castle. Like, I'm used to seeing commune blocks, and here, like, everywhere you look, you pretty much see a castle and guys dancing. Anyhow, I'm going to some art gallery or museum, something-ish. I also went in this thing and filmed a few videos there, and yeah, I'm going to see what I can do until the day is gone. If you are visiting Bologna, the thing you need to see is Santa Maria della Vita. I mean, the church is nothing fancy, but you can see the stone statues, which, to be honest, are pretty cool. And there's another thing to the side of the church that is just beautiful. It's stunning. It's a work of art and a lot of gold. You know, I've always admired people who just pull out a camera out of their inventory and start talking like no one was watching. But in my head, everyone was watching. And then I realized no one actually cares. And the ones who do, well, they won't see me ever again. I think I've eaten the best lasagna I have ever eaten in my entire life. The restaurant is called Sfogliarina. It was just amazing, and the staff was very nice, and they offered me a glass of water for free, and also the Bolognese wine was amazing as well, but I think it hit me a little bit too hard. I don't know how much alcohol was in that wine, but hey, it hit me. And right now I'm going to a shop to get some groceries, and then I'm going home. I came home, I took a shower and changed my clothes, and I bought myself some chips I want to try, and this cola sherry. By the way, I'm a very big fan of cola sherry. I drink this all day, all night. So these are the chips. They are San Carlo, Più Gusto, and it's pomodori di stagione. I have no idea what. I mean, it's tomatoes with something, but let's see. Okay, they smell like ketchup. Maybe this will unlock some forgotten memories from my childhood. Jesus Christ, they are salty, but they are good. They are very good, Jesus. The saddest part out of all of this trip is the fact that I won't be able to pack any of this to take home with me, which is a shame because they are pretty good. Good morning, everybody. It's the second day in Bologna and I slept pretty well. As plans for today, I have Pasticceria dell'Arte, which I should have went a few minutes ago, but like I was too tired and I decided to stay in bed a little bit more. Then I have a scheduled visit at Torre del Orologio, which is the clock tower of the city, which you can visit because the two towers are closed. And I'm gonna go there so I can get a nice view of the city. Then I'm thinking about going to San Luca. Hopefully I can get by there without myself getting rained on. Then I was thinking about going at the Botanical Garden and the Mambo Museum. And at the end of the day I'm going to Tombe dei Glossatori. Hopefully I did not mispronounce any of that. It should be enough things to do for the day. And I also need to find a place where I can get something to eat by night after I finish the day. One of the many challenges I set for myself on this solo trip was to explore the entire city without using maps. No navigation whatsoever. Just walk, follow my instincts, and see where they end up. And I know it sounds cool in theory, until you're actually lost in the middle of a city you don't know. And then inevitably you'll use Google Maps because, well, you do want to get back to your Airbnb, right? I never in my life been so happy that I bought two things and I brought them with me. And one of them is the magic arm, because it saved me a lot of placement issues. Like I could clamp this bar onto here and I did shot a few things with it, so I'm happy I got it. And also the 7mm f2, which I'm recording on right now. Even though it's a manual lens, it did a pretty good job of capturing everything, and I was also able to get the wide shots that I wanted, and it's a new perspective. So the next thing we are going to do is going to be going up there on that hill somewhere, and I'm a bit bummed because I couldn't climb those two towers right in the distance, the big thingy over there, yeah. Nonetheless, the view is pretty, and I think I'm gonna just sit here for a little more and then I'm going to go. I don't know how to describe the second day in Bologna. The thing I'm most proud of, I mean, I'm proud of myself for starting to get better and better and talking to the camera in the middle of the street. Now we're heading to Santuario Maria di San Luca, and we're heading to the Farini bus station. Hopefully I can get in time and get a bus, because it's a 1-hour bus drive. It appears that going to San Luca is way more interesting than I thought. Well, I could have taken the number 20 bus and then change it to like number 58 and be there by bus. However, me being a gym enthusiast and thinking of the fact that yesterday I walked like 20,000 steps and today I wanna walk more steps, I took bus number 14 and now I need to walk around 2 kilometers. I don't know, it's a 50-minute walk, and it will also be incline. So yeah. But being lost, that's when the real adventure starts. That's when you see things you weren't looking for. And sometimes it leads to great conversations with strangers. The thing I need to learn about doing these sort of things is that I need to be asking people if they are comfortable in front of the camera and ask them if they want to appear in the video. Because when I was at the top of the church, I met with one of the staff members that worked there, and he was so kind and he was so nice, and we talked about how Bologna is and what made Bologna, how do you call it, rich, and why it did start with more tourism and why a lot of people travel here. And it was pretty nice. Okay, I'm going on the street, yay, that's great. But like, he was such a nice guy, and I feel like I should have asked for him if he wants to be in the video and talk to the camera. Well, I will do that in the next videos. Hopefully more people will be this open and this welcoming towards the camera and towards me, I guess. Really small change of plans. I'm going to see if I can get some better view of the church, so I can get a few panoramic shots, so more cinematic things, and then I'm going to go down the hill. So, given the fact that I'm not always able to reflect whilst I'm on my journeys, I think I finally found a great spot to do it. So, all I want to say is that I'm really, really grateful for this trip. And being the first time solo traveling, it's even crazier. I mean, I was only one day in Bologna, and this is the second day. But like, it's only the first day here, and I already met some new people. I had some interesting conversations. Even though they were kind of surface level conversations, they were pretty good. And I feel like it helps me get more character development. And not only that, but like the fact that I used my gear and talked in public with my camera on and whatnot, and just being by myself is such a crazy and beautiful experience to have. I can't even describe it, really. I can't describe what I'm seeing and the silence and the peacefulness of this place. If you can go solo traveling, please do. You won't regret it. I know you see me like shit, but the only problem we have now is that it started to drizzle, and drizzling means soon it will rain. So I did get, I think, probably the most amazing shot out of this entire experience. It was amazing. Like, I felt so great just running around in circles. No, but to be honest, I'm starting to get the hang of it. I so love doing this. Man, I so love doing this. As I was heading towards Venice, one of my goals was to meet the locals and take portraits of strangers. But there was a problem. I actually had to talk to them first. Now, this might not seem like a big deal. I mean, I'm already a photographer. I talk to random people all the time. But approaching someone with a camera and a microphone, speaking a language that isn't your first, and then realizing they are also tourists? You don't want to ruin their vacation. Besides the fact that I don't have any game plan for today, even though I did map a few things on Google Maps, I'm not sure I'd be able to do any of it, because like the weather is pretty meh. I also already visited the basilica or the church in my back, and I feel like it was such a ripoff because it feels like paying a DLC. Like, you pay €5 to go in, then you need to pay another €5 if you want to visit another part inside of the church. and then you need to pay €7 to visit the museum and on top of it. So I said screw that, and I didn't go on top. However, I'll try to visit and I'll try to film as much as I can, because like now it's 11:30 and I have my train back at 9, so I need to be back at the central station by 9. The most important thing I need to do today is like trying to find someone to take a few photos of, because it's the only thing I haven't checked on my list, and I feel like here, because there are lots of tourists, I can do it. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that now. Not gonna lie, Venice today is really slow. I don't know if it's because I'm tired and it's very hard for me to find things to look at, or is the fact that everything is so expensive in here and I don't want to spend a fortune visiting 2 or 3 things, even though I'm only here for 1 day. And now it's practically midday and I have to wait a little bit more until things open. I need to see what I can do for the rest of the day so that I don't waste the day here in Venice. But this trip wasn't just about exploring cities. It was about exploring myself. And here in Venice, I had to face something I'd been avoiding for a long time. There's a part of my past that still lingers, something I thought I had moved on from. But when you're traveling alone, in the silence, you can't really escape your own thoughts, and they catch up to you. I felt it all again. The weight of all the memories, the emotions I tried so hard to ignore, they consumed me, and at one point, I was lost. After some reflection, I realized I had 2 choices: let it consume me and hide it away again, or for the first time acknowledge it and move on. I told myself that it's okay. I need to learn to let go. The past, the mistakes I've made, I've learned from them, and now I'm ready to face something else. At the moment, I'm heading towards Basilica Santa Maria della Salute, and I was just excited when I saw the sun rising up, because when I looked at the weather app, it said that it would be cloudy the entire day, and the sun just came out of the clouds, which is amazing. I just met with 2 amazing girls and they agreed to take them a few photos, and they turned out great. I'll leave a few photos here. I'm getting sidetracked so very easily. Like, Venice is a city full of things, and if you're not careful, like if you just don't pay attention and you just go from place to place. Then something changed. The moment I let go, the day started to feel light again. And sure enough, not long after, I found myself standing in front of the most beautiful view I had ever seen. And for some reason, it hit me. Tears welled up in my eyes, but this time it wasn't sadness. It was something else, something deeper, something extraordinary. For the first time in my life, I genuinely started crying because of the beauty of a city. It felt like all the pain I had endured finally went away. Well, I'm finally here after 4 hours and way too many steps. I'm finally at the church, cathedral, basilica. At this point, I don't know how to call them anymore because I've been in way too many. But nonetheless, I will try to see if I can go inside and if they will let me film anything. And then, as if the universe knew I needed it, I stumbled upon someone who reminded me why I fell in love with photography in the first place. That's when I met Marcel, a photographer from Hamburg, traveling alone just like me. He kindly asked me what lens I was using, and from there we spent the rest of the day in Venice, talking about photography, videography, life, and most importantly, this guy gave me one of the hardest quotes I've ever heard.
But also there's a good definition of a tourist, someone who is actually walking away from reality or from his problems And a traveler is someone who's exploring the life and the world itself. So I would say you're more of a traveler.
Than a tourist.
And me too.
Bro, I never heard that quote and I love it, and I'll actually write it down when I'm listening to this.
But I think it's such a good...
It's very good.
I mean, a tourist is actually walking away from his problems at home.
Yeah, it's true.
And a traveler is trying to discover the world.
Yeah, and discovering himself.
And himself.
Himself. That's why I'm solo traveling, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
look at you. Look why you're Russian. Look at you. Look Jesus. You look like Jesus.
no!
Yes. But a little bit younger.
I have to. No. So there's this joke around me.
Okay.
That I'm actually Jesus. And on Christmas Day, somebody actually told me happy birthday.
We're like, you know, photographers, they're like...
We met in a church.
We met in a church. That explains everything, okay?
I'll try my best to explain everything.
I mean, first time I saw you on a bridge, at least not under the bridge, but from the looks of it.
If you saw me under the bridge, then you would have known I'm Jesus, because like I would have been walking on water.
Maybe, or you would think that you are Jesus, my friend.
I really like the fisheye. How do you think about the fisheye?
It looks very fishy to me.
And that, my friends, is how you meet other people in Venice. You go to a church and then you go talk to people.
And then you get a coffee and talk about like fishy things with Jesus next to you.
So how was the day? Well, I was at a date with Jesus. It's crazy how strangers can feel like old friends in just a couple hours. But that's what travel does. It connects you in ways you'd never expect. As you already know, good things must come to an end. And after sharing 2 pizzas and 2 glasses of wine, we had to part ways. And even though life has set us on different journeys from this point on, I feel like I made a genuine connection. And honestly, I can't wait to visit him this summer. On Monday, I could barely hold my camera in public and talk to my camera, and now I'm comfortable enough to leave my camera down and speak and be pretty free about what I'm going to speak. And I'm trying my best to like speak at the reasonable volume, because the thing is, I haven't checked any of the videos I took in the last few days, so I don't know if I yelled hard enough or if I spoke in silent like the entire time and you couldn't hear a thing. But that doesn't really matter. I did this for myself, and it's funny. It just started to rain, so I think this is my call to go into the train station. But like, I just want to say that I'm so thankful for all the adventures and all the experiences I had throughout the last few days. And not only that, but I'm so thankful for all the people I've met, especially today in Venice. Thought that it would never happen. Like, I see all these YouTubers that meet with people and have fun, and I didn't thought it was possible until today. And it's so shocking. Like, I'm in awe. I'm amazed of everything that happened today, and especially all the stories I shared with all the people and new friends I've made. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of myself, really, that I did this solo trip. And I think that being my first trip turned out way better than I could have expected, and it blew away all the expectation I had about going solo traveling. And all I had with me is my camera, 3 lenses, a microphone, and this heavy backpack that I carry around me. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm literally speechless. And now I should go, since it started raining pretty heavily and I'm still here. My name is Andrew, and thanks for watching my silly little story in Bologna and Venezia. See you next time. Solo traveling isn't about being alone. It's about discovering who you are when no one's around to influence you. It's about pushing yourself, facing discomfort, and realizing that fear is just a test. And if you're thinking about solo traveling, do it. You'll meet amazing people, you'll get lost, you'll be uncomfortable, but most importantly, you'll grow. And that's what makes it all worth it. Please, seek discomfort, let love conquer fear, because you never know what's waiting for you on the other side. I really want to have a moment of appreciation for the fact that these cameras are waterproof, water sealed or whatever, because like I'm so glad I don't need to pack away my camera and just leave it in the rain and it's okay. And well, that's it. There's the train station. I'm heading towards it. I just need to cross that big bridge and yeah, I'll see you home, I guess.